What's up, team? Today's day number 40 of the $1,000 account challenge, and we hit another milestone. We are up $200 in the account, or 7.03% of the total portfolio balance. If you don't know, my name is Gates. I've started with $1,000. I'm day trading options using my strategy to see how far we can grow this account. And we're up to $3,000 in the account. So hitting that next milestone of growing the account now 200% since the start of the challenge, absolutely amazing. You know, we were stuck there between 2,000 and 2,500 for quite some time. So here are the trades that I took straight off the day trade watch list. Tesla was a short idea below $196. We are on the 1 minute time frame here. It just doesn't get much cleaner or clearer than this. Opening consolidation presses up off of 196. But then we get the reversal, total reversal back down and then through 196. Now, we're not chasing this move down, right, as it's falling, because we don't see the proper risk to reward here. If we're taking the entry way down here and the stop loss is at 196, we're assuming so much risk for just a little bit of amount of reward. So the better thing to do here, which is exactly what we did, is to wait for a rally up close to $196, which we get right here. So now all of a sudden our risk off amount to 196 looks like that, with our potential reward being down to the low of day looks something like this. You see our reward amount is double the amount of the risk. The reason why we take the entry up here is because we're getting a rally up retest close to $196, which, remember, is our short trigger. So it's very cut and dry. That is the only move that I took on Tesla, where we wound up taking about a 20% gain off of this trade. I did call out in the live trading later on when Tesla rallied up and started to break the uptrend trend line, rejecting off of VWAP. I mentioned this as a potential short entry here and here for this move down to the low of day. I know a couple of members caught that. I myself did not take that because we were in the Q&A session at that time. Now the trade that really made us the money on the day, 50% gainer on AMD. It was a short idea below $170. High conviction trade for me. I should have sized up a bit more on this, but I did not. However, I want to talk about why this was a high conviction trade for me. NVIDIA on the daily chart time frame has been running, right? This being semiconductor sector, AMD typically follows NVIDIA. Not always, but they do move similarly sometimes. You know, AMD being a sympathy to NVIDIA. Now, what do we have coming up on NVIDIA? Earnings. So realistically thinking, can NVIDIA run just like this up to the earnings report for the last month and a half and then continue to run into the earnings report? Or do we think that the stock is already priced in what investors think may come out in the earnings report? It makes the most sense that investors during this run are just pricing in what they expect to see from the earnings report. So NVIDIA being extended like this, I knew that it was a day where potentially it could pull back or break out, but this morning it being a gap down, most likely pull back. AMD had a very quality setup on the daily chart time frame, regardless of what NVIDIA was, and that was this ascending triangle on the daily, which is a bullish continuation pattern, but it's been running, has trouble breaking the resistance at 180, and we look to the 1 minute time frame, it is also a gap down day. So we looked for the break of the pre-market lows, which was a short idea below $170. Okay, so the reason why AMD makes the watch list today is because of the quality setup on NVIDIA having earnings and also potentially being something that could pull back, but the pattern on AMD. So it's a combination of both here. We get the breakdown below 170, rally up retest of 170 as a point of resistance. We take the entry short right there. Now, this is why I scaled out of this trade, because I knew that if AMD was going to fall with NVIDIA and NVIDIA was going to have a larger sell-off day, there's a chance that AMD really takes a tumble. So we take our profits here at about 20%. We take profits off again at about 30%, and then we take profits again at 50%. And man, you can look back at this and say we missed a lot. We left a lot on the table, but to take profits at 50% on this first drop here is fantastic. So those two trades, AMD and Tesla, is what put us up $200 on the day. Now up 200% of the total portfolio balance, and we are going to keep pressing on. Thank you so much. That's all that I have for this video. Press that like button for me if you haven't done so already. I hope the video has helped you out. And consider subscribing to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. It's just the best way to support me as a content creator. Again, thank you for your time, and I will see you tomorrow when we continue the $1,000 account challenge.